Welcome to You Know Me, a podcast of Brunswick and the Golden Isles. I'm Buddha,
This is the beard.
and how you doing this week? You had a good week?
I did. How about you?
We're getting ready for a busy week next week. So, weekends I like to unwind, and one of the places I do is there's these great stores. They have protein shakes, and we're at one of them right now. It's called ABC Nutrition,
All right.
and they have wonderful specialty drinks, shakes, protein, collagen, energy. Beats having a cup of coffee. And we're here with Brad, the owner of ABC Nutrition. And Brad, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me. My name is Brad Cooper. I own ABC Nutrition in Darien, Georgia. It's like you said, we sell healthy, nutritional herbal teas and meal replacement shakes, which is a healthier option for getting a quick breakfast or a quick lunch or even dinner, for that matter, with one of the shakes if you're really watching what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
As far as how I got into this, my health journey is quite a story, actually. I've been self-employed for over 20 plus years. I owned a auto detailing business in Brunswick for close to 16 years. And at that time, I weighed 500 pounds. So 2008, I had my first heart attack. I was, and most people don't believe me, but I was drinking over a case of 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew a day.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah, my father-in-law worked for Pepsi, and like every day he would bring a case home, and I had it on my back porch. And I'd get up in the morning to go to work. I'd throw a case in the van, and I don't know if you remember back in the day, Circle K had a big 100-ounce cup,
Yeah.
and I called it my sippy cup. I would leave in the morning. I'd go to the store. I'd fill it up with ice, and I'd pour Mountain Dew in it. And when it was gone, I'd refill it. And I drank that all day long. It's all I ever drank. Well, apparently, now knowing it wasn't good for me, so my first, like I said, first heart attack, mild heart attack in 2008. When I went into the ER, my blood pressure was 262 over 220.
Wow.
And so they got me right. No stents or anything like that. It was just, from all that caffeine and everything in it, So got off the Mountain Dew, continued working, and then in 2016 I sold the company and moved to South Carolina to run the detail departments for a guy that owned several dealerships. Did that for about a year, and that didn't work out. But while we were there, that's when I really put on some more weight, because honestly, my hardest decision of the day was what's for lunch.
Right. Yeah.
And I was the epitome of the person that, when I went out to eat, I was going to a buffet so I could get my money's worth.
Right.
We didn't go anywhere to eat unless it was a buffet. So, long story short, left that job, took another job with a nationwide company that brought me back down to Brunswick. I had 18 dealerships that I was over between Brunswick and Jacksonville, doing the same thing over all the detail departments. And then February of 18, I had my second heart attack. Went into congestive heart failure, had my second heart attack, and at that point I was at 500 pounds. I've got a pacemaker, defibrillator. And my cardiologist basically said, get the weight off or you're going to be dead in under 12 months. So about 90 days later, my wife and I were on a plane. We flew to Tijuana, and I had the gastric sleeve surgery. And since then, I've lost 250 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, you look great.
Thank you. I feel like a new man, And I look back now at pictures, and things like that. And I think, how did you even do that? You know, I'll show you one real quick here. Where I'm at now, as opposed to back then, you know.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're a completely different man.
That's a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huge. So at that point, that's what started I need to be healthy.
Yeah.
I've got a daughter, got a son, you know, I need to be around.
Yeah.
So I made the decision that I need to start being healthy. So both my wife and I started looking for another business venture to do, you know, something that we could, she used to help me with the detailing business on the backside, you know. So we started looking and looking and looking, something that we could both do. And when Port City opened in Brunswick, she went in and got one of their teas and brought it home. And I was like, "What are you drinking?" And she's like, "Oh, what's this new place?" You know. I was like, I mean, I'm not that guy. I would have never went in that place. You know, it said nutrition. I was like, I mean,
Right.
I wasn't quite at that point in my health journey yet.
Yeah.
You know. So another time she come home, she brought me one. I tasted it, and it was delicious. So then it was like, you know, we were getting one a week or something, and then it was 2 a week and 3 a week, and now we're going every day. And so I went in and told Adam, I said, "Hey man, look, if I'm going to be drinking these every day, I might as well be selling them too." You know?
Right.
So and then here we are. You know, about 60 days later, we found this place in Darien and opened up, and they have welcomed us with open arms. We've been doing really well here.
Wow. That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, it's interesting you talked about like going to lunch, and I seem to sometimes fall into that pitfall where it's, all right, you got an hour for lunch, whatever. It's like, what am I going to get? And especially if your lunch is squeezed, I don't, you know,
Yeah.
like if you have an hour lunch, but you know, like you finish late at a whatever, and then you got to start something early or whatever. Like you end up going to like McDonald's or doing something, and like,
Because it's convenient.
Right,
To run
exactly.
through the drive-through, you know,
Yeah.
it's all about convenience.
yeah,
Quick.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's and also same thing. Like I try to eat healthy, but I feel you, because it's like it's hard sometimes to find those healthy options
Right.
that are out there.
Right.
So
And that was one of the big things when we did our grand opening here with the chamber and all that. I guess the biggest, and to us, the best feedback that we get from all of our customers is just that when you think of Darien and McIntosh County going to eat somewhere, it's all fried seafood, you know, the shrimp, the fried shrimp, the fried fish. You got B&J's, you got Skipper. It's all fried foods.
That's right.
So bringing this as a healthy alternative for people that like that, on the go, quick, need to grab something for lunch, but they don't want to go to McDonald's, they don't want to go to that buffet.
yeah,
It gives them that opportunity to grab something healthy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and you know, as a customer, I can attest that, you know, I'll get one of the specialty teas,
Right.
and you know that there's so much protein in it, and that's the thing. This amount of protein that gets in your body, it fills you, it makes you feel full.
Right, right.
And you know, my routine is I'll pick one up on the way to work. I might drink that all day long.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I get so busy, I'll get focused on something, and you know, it sits on the right side of me, and when it's 4 o'clock and I'm only halfway through.
Right, right.
But it does. It takes my mind off of eating.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, someone has to come in and say, "Frank, you gotta go get something to eat. You've been working nonstop since you got here, and I work up in Savannah. You got a lot of options.
Yeah, yeah.
And where I am, there's a lot of fast food. If I want something that's not fast food, I have to go a little bit.
Right.
There's a great taco place and there's a Chinese place, but a lot of times I'm trying to what a lot of people should do this too is. So now I've been bringing lunch with me to work, but what are the things in these drinks that are drawing people in. That's the hook.
Yeah. So I'll just go through all of them. We have a loaded tea, a beauty tea, and a specialty tea. The loaded tea, you would think of it as like a healthy Red Bull. It's going to give you energy, focus, mental clarity with aloe, which is good for absorption and digestion. The beauty tea is going to give you some energy, your vitamins A, B, C, and E, collagen, and biotin. It's, everything that's good for your skin, your hair, your nails, things like that. The specialty tea is going to have everything that the beauty tea has in it, plus 17 grams of protein.
Wow.
So that's, what you were talking about, that snack, just kind of holding you over type deal. That's what the specialties is better for, because that protein is going to kind of give you that full feeling for a little while. And then, of course, the shakes are full meal replacement shakes. They're 24 grams of protein. They're under 250 calories. So that's going to give you that meal replacement, for lunch or breakfast or even dinner. Like I said, if you need something quick, it'll hold you over for 3 to 4 hours.
And these aren't, I'm looking at your menu board. There's a lot of options here. There's a lot of flavors.
Yeah.
This is not like,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, you don't taste anything but goodness.
Yeah.
Well, so it's not like when you talk about shakes, it's not chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. It's,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When you look at, you get anything from a banana pudding to a wedding cake to a peanut butter cup or cheesecake.
Cheesecake. So how do you come up with the recipes for all the shakes and drinks?
Most of them are already predetermined, come down from those that be up above.
Okay.
We can and have made up some of our own, and that's just playing with the flavors.
Right.
Making something up.
Okay. Cool. So what is your best seller?
Here, probably between the banana pudding, white chocolate Snickers, peanut butter cup. Oh, and the salted caramel, the iced salted caramel. So we can also do actually we could do any of them, like an iced coffee. We have a lot of customers that do that. The salted caramel is the most popular one. Instead of blending it like a shake, it would be in the form of an iced coffee, and we could put coffee in it as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like a meal replacement coffee shake.
So you get that extra caffeine in there to get you going through the day.
Yep. Yep.
oh, that sounds really good.
I'm not a coffee drinker, but everybody that gets it loves it.
I'm like 1 or 2 cups of coffee during the week. That's it. I can't do more than that. And I never finish a cup of coffee. Because once it starts to get cold,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I just don't like the actual taste of coffee.
Yeah.
Years ago, if I did drink a coffee, it was like, there was more sugar and creamer in it than there was coffee.
Yeah. I drink my coffee black, and
Oh,
people are amazed at how much coffee I actually drink throughout the day. I could probably drink 5 to 6 to 8 cups of coffee a day.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that much, but I do black with 2 sugars just to kind of cut the bitterness a little bit.
Yeah, and I just drink it black. I have no sugar, no nothing, just black.
Gosh.
Yeah,
So,
I couldn't do that.
you've owned one business in card detailing, and now you have this ABC Nutrition. Is there a lot of similarities to owning the two, or is there a lot of differences?
Oh, yeah, complete opposites. With the detailing, I was outside, obviously, detailing cars, and here in South Georgia, the middle of August, it's 110 degrees and the heat index is 120, and I was 500 pounds, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I look back now and I'm like, oh my God, man, how did you even do that? I did it because I had to, but again, get up in the morning, fill that cup up, go out to work, do 2 or 3 cars that morning, and I was going to the Chinese buffet.
Wow.
3, 4 plates, and then go back out in the heat and do it again.
Wow.
And again, like I look back and I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah.
So after your surgery, how did you handle like, the food cravings?
It's hard. It really is. I have no regrets. Like it saved my life. It really did. But the mind games that it plays on you right after you have the surgery is real. It's real because you're. So one instance that always sticks out into my head is we had some friends that came to town. We went over to St. Simon's and went to Crab Trap to eat, and I'm probably, I don't know, 8-10 weeks out of having my surgery. I ordered just an appetizer, and I said, "Don't bring the appetizer out until you bring everybody else's food." Well, they brought it early, you know, and
Typical.
And I think it was, boiled shrimp, So I ate them because I don't want them to get cold. And I think I ate maybe 6. Well, then they brought the rest of the food out, and everybody else is eating, and I'm sitting there watching them.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. I had to go out and sit in the truck because my mind's saying, "Man, you can eat.
Right.
You can eat all that."
Yeah.
My new little 4-ounce stomach is saying, "You take one more bite and see what happens."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it plays with your head for a while. But eventually you get over it, you know. So now I can eat anything. I just can't eat as much.
Right.
Right.
So what was did you come up with some way to deal with it? Did you have some kind of system in place for yourself to kind of say, this is what I'm going to eat. This is how much I'm going to eat. Did you make a lot of big changes?
Yeah, but they were gradual. The first 6 weeks out of surgery, you're pre-planned or predetermined on what you eat. Mm-hmm. The first week you're just strictly clear liquids. The second week you're any liquids, and then the third week is like pureed mashed potatoes, refried beans, stuff like that. So what they're trying to do is prevent you from stretching that new stomach or getting a tear, because it's stapled with the gastric sleeve. They actually go in and cut about 85% of your stomach out.
Wow.
And leave you with a 4-ounce pouch. So there's staples in it. So that 6 weeks is making it to where you don't stretch it or get a tear, pop a staple or anything like that, and have to go back in and have another surgery. So, like I said, clear liquids, any liquids, pureed foods, and then soft foods, anything you can mash up. And then starting week 6, you can then eat whatever you want, but just, be careful in small portions. And it will let you know real quick. And one of my issues was I always eat fast.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing, is I had to learn how to slow down when I eat. Because, again, I just pile it in.
Yeah. When you get that short lunch period, you're like, I got to eat and get back to work.
Yeah. So learning how to eat slower was one of the biggest challenges for me, because I would instantly know that, oh my God, I went too fast. And by going too fast, I ate too much. So it was hurting, and then I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So you don't do that but one time after having that surgery, and you learn quick because it hurts.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest challenge, was learning how to eat slower for me.
So how long has it been since the surgery?
2018.
2018.
Actually, next month.
Wow.
Will be 6 years. That's what this tattoo is.
Yeah.
So this is the day that I had my surgery.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
This is the actual printout from when I had my heart attack.
Wow.
And then this one is about 2 years out. When I went back to my cardiologist, they did another echo, and I got a printout,
of it.
what I'm doing good, and then basically, that gave me my second chance.
Wow.
So
People on their weight loss journey, do you have any advice for them?
I mean, this could be a whole nother session.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, it could be. I was big my entire life. And when I say big, I mean I'm 6'7", so, but I was also fat, pretty much my entire life growing up, and I never starved. So I've tried every diet known to man, growing up, and hell, even tried to invent a couple, and been to nutritionists, dietitians, and all that. And looking back now, every one of them, in different ways, all said the same thing: eat smaller, healthier meals several times a day, and exercise, and you'll lose weight. Well, growing up, I was like, no, there's got to be a magic pill out there. There's something,
Yep.
So ultimately, having this surgery made me have to eat healthier, smaller meals more times a day. And guess what? It works. I lost 250 pounds.
Wow.
So my advice would be eat healthier, smaller meals 4 to 6 times a day, and exercise.
Yeah. And that's where this comes into the play, right?
Yes. So I've got the ability now to, when I say, God, what am I going to do for lunch? I mean, I could go over there to B&J's and, grab a small box off the buffet or something, but nope, I'll make a shake.
Yeah.
So now I'm choosing to be healthier.
Yeah. And you got a lot of choices too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the menu is huge. I mean, that's what I like about it is that you can literally have something different every single time you come in here.
Yeah. It would take you a while to go through all
Oh
of
yeah, especially if there's some freedom to kind of come up with something on your own a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we actually have done that. We've got several. When we first opened up, we created 4 teas that were local to Darien and McIntosh County. One of them being the Blue and Hall for the marina, Fort King George, the Buccaneer for the high school football team, and I don't remember what the 4th one was. Oh, the shrimp boat.
Shrimp boat.
Yep,
Shrimp
that's right. Because Darien
Darien.
is
Yeah.
a shrimping community.
Yeah.
And then we've created some for other small businesses that are in Darien.
Oh, wow.
The Sunny Buns, the Latitude, and the Marsh Pirate are all small businesses here in town that we've named a tea after them.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
like collaboration.
Yeah, it's all about, I've been a small business owner, like I said, for a long time, so I'm all about, working with other small businesses and supporting them too.
Yeah. That's important to me.
That's why we're doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of the whole crux
Yeah, that's-
of what this podcast is, kind of
Well,
bringing out the small business.
Yeah.
And exactly, that's why when I was on Spotify, because when I'm in the truck riding around, 99% of the time I'm.
All right. Sorry about that little technical difficulty, but yeah, we were just discussing collaboration and businesses and our podcast.
Yeah, like I was saying, 99% of the time when I'm in my truck riding, I'm listening to podcasts, and I come across y'all's podcast and started listening and seeing that you guys were, highlighting local businesses in the community and things like that. And that's when I found out who you guys were, and sent a message and, was like, hey, I would love to be on the podcast, just and also to support you guys, and then once it comes out, I'm gonna share the crap out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I think it's great.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it, and that's why why we did this is we want to highlight all the local legends, the
Yeah.
small businesses.
Sure.
Let everybody know what's out there, because it's in a way it's kind of surprising how some people don't know some businesses exist.
That's right. And like we've been here, September will be 2 years, and we still have people walk in every day that say, "I didn't know you guys were here."
Yep. Yep. Oh yeah.
Getting the word out is one of the main goals.
Yes.
So 2 years. How's it been your first 2 years?
It's been fantastic. They like I said before. I mean, the McIntosh community has accepted us with open arms. We have actually been voted and won business business of the month twice.
Nice.
One for cause you can only get business of the month 1 month out of the year because they want other businesses.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously. So the first year we were open, we got it, and then in January of this year we had the banquet for 23, and then everybody that was business of the month through that year can then get voted on for business of the year.
Wow.
And we actually got voted business of the year our first year in business.
That's awesome.
That's great. That's great. And this is a family business, isn't it?
It is. Yep. My wife and I, and then our daughter. She actually comes in and helps. She could actually run this store.
Awesome.
She knows how to. She can make all the teas. She can make all the shakes. She can run the POS system and the cash register. She can do it all at 12 years old.
Times for me to have, like, I run the business day. One day.
But that builds good skills.
I had a couple small restaurants in South Carolina, and of course my kids were too small, but my daughters were great at rolling silverware, napkins,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and folding pizza boxes. And my son was only 2, and I went into the back and I found him head first in the big bin of flour.
Oh wow.
His feet sticking up. I'm like, and of course all my employees are standing around laughing. I'm like, gee.
Yeah.
But I know it's great to have the kids around and things like
Yeah.
that. It's a lot of makes work less like work.
Yeah, and especially in a small town like this, it's all about creating relationships with
Yes.
your customers. I mean, Darien is still very much small town USA.
Yeah.
And that's my wife actually is great at that. She's the one that creates those relationships. I'm not saying I don't, but she's more. When those customers come in, she creates conversations with them, and they become comfortable, and before you know it, they're sitting over here on the couch having conversations about their lives and everything. She does really well with all of our customers.
Now, do you guys have a more busier time of year? Do you find, or is it just kind of equal?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
So, like right now, summer has just hit, so school's out.
Yeah.
So we do kind of drop off a little bit when school's out because it kind of breaks up everybody's routine.
Yeah.
Our busiest time of the day is in the mornings, when school is in. From the time we open the door till probably 11 that morning, it is just
Yeah.
nonstop. So again, when school's out, it kind of breaks everybody's routine. So
Yeah.
now it's just kind of through the entire day, in and out.
Yeah. Do you have any? Do you see tourists coming in at all?
We do. We've actually had several people that would pop in and say, "Hey, we're traveling on the interstate, and we got on Google looking for a nutrition place, and you popped up." So I mean, that's great too.
Yeah,
we
that's
have
very
some.
good. Yeah.
I do actually have a couple truck drivers too that run dedicated runs from South Florida up to Virginia, and they will pop in every time they come up through, and they'll just park it right out there on the side of 17, come in and get a drink and grab some to-go ones. And,
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
you're not that far off 95.
no, just a couple miles.
Yeah, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Now, you've owned your retail business before, but what were the challenges of opening up this business?
Basically going from a full service business to retail.
Yeah.
I had never done owned a business where I was in retail.
Right.
When I was younger, prior to opening my detail business, I worked in retail. But working in retail and owning a retail business, huge difference.
Two different things.
Huge.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. So, learning to keep my mouth shut a lot of times was a challenge. But other than that, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're dealing with good people and good customers, and
Yeah.
it's all good, and that's what we got here. I don't know that I don't think we've ever had a bad customer, a disgruntled customer. Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
Right, yeah. And I know we've discussed this on other podcasts, but yeah, customer service is like number one.
Number one. That's
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Did you, when you made the commitment to start this, did you, because this is something different and new.
Yeah.
And some people, they don't like different.
Right.
And they don't understand it. Did you have a lot of skepticism? Do you have some
we
kind
did.
of naysayers like, oh, this is not going to do so well?
Not really. Our biggest concern was coming to Darien. So when we decided that we were going to do this, we actually looked at quite a few different locations. One, in Brunswick, we looked over here. We actually looked in Camden County, and we looked down at exit 29. And every time, like, we really liked this, but that's where the skepticism came in. Was like, it's Darien. I don't know how that's going to do. Is Darien going to even accept something like that? And looked at other places, and like I said, Camden and exit 29. Well, we looked at this spot, talked to the landlord, and said, all right, let's, we're going to think about it. And then looked at a place at exit 29. The owner of this place called me and said, hey, I've got somebody else that wants to look at it. Are you still interested in it? And me and my wife talked, and we were like, let's go to exit 29. So I told him no, I think we're going to go elsewhere. He said, okay, no worries. Started talking to people about down at exit 29, and that fell through. So we were like, okay, back to the board looking for somewhere else. Well, a couple days later, the landlord here called me back and said, hey, had two people that looked at it. They weren't interested, so if you are, it's still available. And that's, my wife said, you know what? That's a sign.
Yeah.
We got to go to Darien. And we did. So then we came over and did it, and it's been fantastic ever since. I mean, I'm glad we did. It's been great.
So is this your only location right now, or?
So we did have another one on St. Simon's.
Okay.
In August of 23, me and my business partner opened another one on St. Simon's. It was called Wave Nutrition.
Okay.
And but it's trying to be in two places at one time.
That's hard.
It's not easy.
And my partner was she's another business owner in Brunswick with a very busy business as well.
Yeah.
So we both decided that we would just find somebody else that could work it and do what needed to be done, and so that's what we did, and we sold it actually about 3 weeks ago now.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow.
So it's still there.
It's still there, yep, just under a different name. It's called Shine Nutrition.
Shine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I tell you, this is taking off here in the Golden Isles because,
It has, yeah. It kind of blew up.
yeah, exactly. Did you ever think about having kind of a food truck type of thing?
That was my initial, when I went in and talked to them about doing this, I didn't even want to have a store.
Right.
I was like, this is going in a food truck or in a trailer, and I'm just going to go and do it mobile.
Yeah.
Well, our corporate company, if you will, said, no, you can't do that. So I was highly upset about that.
Yeah.
and I was on the phone with him for 3 days fighting it. Why not? What's the difference between this happening in my store versus, being in a food truck?
Right.
And they were like, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So
Is it just logistics? Did they ever?
I guess. So all the products that we sell is Herbalife.
Yeah.
So it's each one of these nutrition clubs, we are our own entity. Like, we own the business.
Right.
But what links us all together is we all order our product from the same company.
Okay.
Which is Herbalife.
Yeah.
And they have an outstanding product. They've been around
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
They caught a bad rap a long time ago, but they've come a long way from that. Millions and millions of dollars a year in R&D. To get, when you come in and get that banana pudding shake,
Yeah.
it tastes like you're eating a cold bowl of banana pudding.
Wow.
So what they've put into this company is incredible.
Yeah.
So
Now, I'm sorry. Do you still see that as an issue that some people might look up and see the past history?
We do. We'll
Yeah.
see it a lot of times on social media.
Yeah.
You know, somebody will comment on something we put out there, and oh, that's a scam company and this and that, and all they do is want your money, and you
Yeah.
just disregard it and go
Yeah.
because it's
I remember back in the mid '90s,
yep.
Herbalife was like a Amway
Right. Like,
style
it was labeled like a pyramid scheme.
pyramid. Yeah, network marketing
Right.
is the technical term, but it's a kind of a pyramid scheme. It's like, Mike, you start, and then you get me in with you, and then whatever I sell, you get a percentage of.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm supposed to get Brad to come for me, and so and at that time there was a lot of those, and it definitely got that network marketing got a really bad rap during the '90s.
Yeah.
And now you see it as affiliate marketing because it's all online, but it's kind of the same thing because you're working as an affiliate, but you want to get other people to
Right.
to do
What-
the same thing you're doing.
Yeah, what it's evolved into now is it's a multi-level marketing business.
Right.
But it's not like that typical back in the day pyramid scheme.
Right.
thing. It's not that at all. They're an excellent company to work for. So, and they treat their people well. And I mean, I say that like we work for them, but we work for ourselves, and they do have certain rules, I guess, that we
Yeah.
have to abide by. But every company does.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can pretty much do what we want to a certain extent.
Right.
It's not a franchise.
And it's not, no.
So you're independent.
We are. Every nutrition club is its own entity. Like I said, the one thing that interlinks us all together is we all order our product from the same company.
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
And so that's how they're getting their money because you're buying their ingredients.
Right.
So there's no royalty payments or anything like that. And you're independent, so it's not like what you make goes to, say, Adam.
Well, in that sense, the way the multi-level marketing works with Herbalife is once you can get people to sign up under you and all that, but if I was to get you to sign up under me, you're not going to pay me any money.
Right.
Herbalife was going to reward me.
Okay.
Right.
So it's
Like a referral.
yes.
Yeah.
So you're getting pretty busy.
Yeah.
That's good.
Certain times.
Yeah.
Depends on,
those who are listening, if you haven't figured out, we're actually in ABC Nutrition in Darien doing the podcast, so you can hear people coming in and out.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great show because these are great products and it's midday and this is a perfect time. These things, these teas and specialty drinks are ice cold.
Yeah, you can
And-
take it to. Oh, it's hot out there too.
Great to have when it's hot outside.
Definitely good on a hot day.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I've been going to the Port City one because I live in Brunswick.
Yeah.
And so I know Adam and Katie, and they've always have great products. They have great energy in the morning because I'm a morning guy. I get there in the morning. I get my Galaxy or Godfather, and I'm very habit. I like what I like, and I don't like the change.
Yeah, you stick with the same one. And there's a lot of people like that. There's, I don't know even know how many there's of our customers that come in and get the same thing every day. It's like clockwork.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not changing.
Yeah.
They like what they like, and that's it.
I'm the same way sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when you like something, like you.
There are times when I walk in the morning and Adam's already got it sitting on the counter
Yeah.
because he knows I'm coming in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's great because and you touched on it before. It's that engaging with the customer.
Right.
And making them feel welcome. And I did the same thing back in the day when I had my Italian restaurants. Is I didn't just spend all the time behind the counter. I went out and I talked to the
Right.
customers.
Yeah. Engage with them.
Of course, not when they're in the middle of eating, because doesn't that always happen? You got a mouthful of food, and the waiter comes over, like,
Yeah.
how's everything? It's like every single time.
Yeah.
So I see them finishing up, so I'll go and I'll clear the table, and that's when I talk to them. And I'm taking the tray and the plates, and we did these square pan pizzas. We didn't do round, and that threw people down here for a loop.
Yeah.
I had people walk in and be like, "Y'all don't have round pizza," and they'd walk out, and I'm like,
Pizza's pizza.
"Pizza's
whether
pizza.
it's
Sicilian slices.
Yeah, we still kept the kind of thing, but it's that engagement and
it's creating relationships with your customer.
making the customer feel welcome, making them feel like they're part of it.
Right.
Because everyone likes to, like, hey, I know the owner,
Oh, yeah.
and that's the kind of thing that you're kind of giving to them, and they come back.
Yeah.
And with pizza, you can get a pretty good loyal following, because you don't, once people go to one place, if they like it, you don't shop around for pizza.
Right.
So when you get something as unique like this,
Yeah.
you really don't have any other competition,
Right.
and you find that you've got to have a regular.
Yeah. And
People.
like you said, when people want pizza, they want a certain pizza. Well, it's almost the same with these, right? You come in, you go in to get your Galaxy every day because you like the way that drink tastes and what it does for you. So being able to have that same thing taste the same every time you get it is key. That's because if you go in one day and it's like, this doesn't taste like it did,
No.
something's off. So the reason people come in is because they like it, they like the way it tastes, and it tastes like that every time they get it.
Right, and that's the big thing about being in the food service is the consistency.
Right.
Yeah.
It has to taste the same
Yep.
every single time, whether you're pizza, steaks, even bartending. You have that signature drink.
Yeah.
Anytime that person comes in and orders that drink, it's got to taste the same
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times, like, I've been to places, ordered a drink or ordered food, and it's like the consistency changes, and
It's not the same.
it's not the same.
Right.
Yeah, I had to let this guy go because he was kind of freelancing with my ingredients, and then someone would come in and be like, "Well, I want the stuff that Lance made for me." I'm like, "Well, it's not on the menu." So finally, I had to tell him, if you can't stick to what I have, then I don't need you,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you're not doing me any favors.
Right.
And so that's the thing is, but what's great about what you have here is that if someone wants to be adventurous, and if you got a lot of different combinations, you could kind of make something up on the fly, or they might come in and say, "Hey, I like to try something that has this, this, and this in it."
Right. Yep. Yeah.
So now, like, we're talking about the consistency, the flavors. So I'm looking at the board. So, like, your specialty drinks, they all contain the same energy, biotin, collagen, vitamins, the protein, but you just changed the flavoring, right?
Right.
Is that
Right.
so?
And the protein side of it can be two different flavors.
Okay.
So I'm drinking a specialty, he's drinking a specialty. His is red, mine is
Peachy,
peachy.
kind of, yeah.
Right? So that's what it is. There's two different flavors of the proteins. There's a peach mango and then there's a berry.
Okay.
So based on that, whether that tea has a peach protein or a berry protein will the flavors.
Okay, so you'll layer or
Yeah.
mix or
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So that it all goes with
Right.
each other.
So,
you know?
so you got that flavor palette, I
Right.
guess you want to call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Flavor profile.
There you
Profile.
go.
There you go. Yeah.
Flavor
yeah.
profile.
Yeah.
Believe me, from years in the food service on both sides, 'cause I also worked at King and Prince Seafood for a while
Okay.
with all the shrimp
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So when you talk about, it's called a flavor profile.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you have something that's got a pomegranate base with the berry protein in it, and then you start putting a bunch of tropical flavors and coconut, pina colada, and all that, never had that actually. So I mean, I don't know how that's going to taste.
Right.
Yeah.
But a tropical base with the peach protein and coconut and pina colada. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
It
It's
flows
the
together.
profile flows. Yeah.
So
And you said most of these recipes come from higher up. Like they
over the years that all these nutrition clubs have evolved.
Yeah.
When they started, however many years, 30 years or 20 years ago, whenever they started.
Yeah.
They started creating these drinks with all these flavors, and then as more people opened, they just kind of passed them down, and passed
Right.
them down, and they made new ones and passed them down,
Right.
and made new ones, and Herbalife does sometimes create new ones, and they'll put them out there for us to, their R&D department has created, like right now, the new thing is the refreshers.
Okay.
They are no caffeine
Okay.
with the 24 line, the athletic line of the protein, with BCAAs, your L-glutamine. It's got a probiotic in it. It's
Okay.
got the collagen, the biotin in it, and then some fresh fruit. So that is a 0 caffeine refresher drink that has 20 grams of protein in it.
Wow.
So that's the new thing that they sent down for
Nice.
us.
And which ones are those on the board?
They're actually next to, it says why our refreshers in the thing pinned on the wall.
Oh, okay, yeah, over there. I'm looking
Yeah.
on the whiteboard.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Over.
man, I know I'm getting old.
And there's 4 different flavors. It's a blueberry one, a watermelon, a strawberry, and a mango dragon fruit.
Nice.
And they're delicious.
So now, do you guys talk to other nutrition clubs at
Oh
all?
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're all we're a team.
Yeah.
We're all on a team. So there's I think there's over 1,200 nutrition clubs just on our team.
Wow.
All and they're all over the place, different states.
Wow.
Do you have to go in and spend some time learning
Yes.
about
yeah.
this? Is there like a class, or is it
No.
online? Or?
So before, when we finally said, okay, we're going to do this, then my wife and I, we went into Port City and we actually worked and trained with Adam and Katie
Oh, okay.
in there until we basically got the gist of everything.
Yeah.
And then came over here and opened up and just went from there.
And that's it. Do you have a documentation about the proteins, all the
Oh, yeah.
minerals,
Oh, yeah.
vitamins, things that are coming in, so you have a
Yep. And that's
a knowledge base?
another great thing about Herbalife is they are a label restricted company. So every product that we have, everything that's in that product has to be on the label. So if
Right.
somebody wants to come in and says, well, does your product have this in it?
Right.
I'll grab the container and let them read it. I've got nothing to hide.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Everything that's in that product is on that container.
Wow.
Right.
So
So if someone worries about allergies,
right, they can actually, I don't have to say, well, I can't let you look at my product.
Right,
I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I'll gladly show you the product. Here it is.
Yeah.
If someone comes and says they have an egg allergy, you're using egg protein.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so you have all like the nutritional labels and
We
all
do.
that. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
if somebody needs to know how many carbs are in something
Yep.
or sugars, you have all that listed.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And that's the great thing about these two. There's 0 sugar,
Wow.
in any of it.
Wow.
They're,
No added sugar, just
The-
the natural sugar from.
there's a substitute, stevia.
Okay, yeah.
In some of our, our shakes and some of the flavors, but it's, it's less than half a banana's worth.
Wow.
My mom is a full-blown diabetic, and she's had everything in here
Wow.
with no issues. So,
Wow, that's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, these are nice and sweet, not too sweet,
Right.
but when I'm craving something sweet, I like the tartness.
Yeah,
Tart too.
yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll go like chocolate caramel, but like a lot of times, I want something fruity. Like raspberry is my favorite.
Yeah,
so like
I'm a blueberry guy. I love blueberries.
Yeah.
so like the raspberry cheesecake is one of my ultimate favorites because it just goes so well together because there's such a tartness to the
Yeah.
raspberry. So when I come here, when I go in and get something, whether it's Galaxy or Godfather, or I might try something a little different, it's it's not like hurt my teeth sweet.
Right. Right.
You know?
But you like the ones that got that little bite to it.
I like the tanginess.
Yeah.
I like that
Little
bit of tang.
bitter taste. Yeah.
It's funny because that's just what I kind of gravitate to. It's really interesting, and the fact that this is my first time here at ABC. I usually am down at the Port City, but you're consistent. There's no difference,
Right.
and that's what's really cool.
And that's what one of the main things that we strive for is being duplicatable. If you have a specific drink that you go to at the nutrition club in your hometown, and you go to another state and find another nutrition club, you should be able to go in there and get that drink, and it tastes the same.
Yeah.
Is there a way that, let's just say I do a lot of traveling, and I'm going to say Birmingham, Alabama. Is there a way I can look up to see if there's a nutrition club?
Yeah. I mean, Google. Just go to Google and type in, Nutrition Club, Birmingham, Alabama, and as long as they have their business listed on Google, then it should pop up.
Now, speaking of that, how's marketing been? Like, when you first opened up to let everybody know that you're here, and even now continuing, how's the marketing been?
So, great. We do 99% of all of our marketing is done on social media.
Okay.
Between Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever.
Right.
It's it's all the socials.
Yeah.
That's where we do 99% of our marketing. The
Right.
other, small percentage of it would be, going out and doing marketing. Talking to people, handing out flyers, that. Doing tea drops to businesses and things like that to get the word out. But 99% of it's all social media.
Now, can you, I know here in Darien, is it second Saturday they have?
Yes.
Okay, now can you go to a second Saturday and set up a table? Is that,
I can go and set up and give away samples, yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So to get the word out?
To get the word out, yeah.
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 That's good. That's good to know.
Yep.
Yeah.
What if I live in Camden County, let's say, and they come up here and like, oh man, this is great. I want to do this down in Camden County. What are the steps for someone? What were the steps for you to start this? How did you get started? What do you need to do to
Well,
kind of
you
start?
just, you find the nutrition club that you're going into and talk to them, and basically they will just give you the steps. I don't even know how to explain it, honestly. I mean, it's mainly just like a lot of paperwork,
Right.
getting set up with Herbalife,
Yeah.
and then becoming a distributor, finding a location, going into that club and training with those people until you get to the point where you feel comfortable with opening up your club.
Yeah.
Do your stuff, get your club completely ready to open, and then once you feel comfortable that you're ready to do it, then you just open up yours and
Yeah.
go to town.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people, like, they want to open up small businesses, and they're always got that initial fear
Yeah.
of taking that first step of
Oh, yeah.
opening up
Yeah,
their
yeah,
own
yeah.
business.
It's scary when 20 years ago when I did it, when I left corporate America,
Yep.
it is real scary going from having that paycheck every Friday to not knowing if you're going to get one.
Yeah. And that's where community comes.
Yeah, and the hustle.
Yeah.
You know?
The hustle. Yeah, the hustle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you go from I'm tired of working a 9 to 5. I want something. I'm self-employed, so I don't have to work as much. Yeah, not happening.
No.
No.
You become self-employed, you end up working double.
Yeah, it basically becomes your life.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I can attest to that.
Yeah, people don't see the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah,
No,
you know?
people think that you're done as soon as you turn the lights off
Yeah.
and turn the close sign, but you're still just getting started.
Right.
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean,
you
You're
got
done with just dealing with customers.
Yeah, now you're paying your bills and you write
Inventory.
down your
Inventory,
stuff,
yeah.
inventory. If you've got employees, you're doing payroll,
Mm-hmm.
taxes. I'm a numbers guy,
Me too.
and I'm literally a controller for a steel distributor up in Savannah. And so when I see this, if I'm starting one of these, I mean, you look at other places and like, I know for instance, like Dunkin' Donuts, that's a franchise.
Right.
You need to have $2 million in liquid assets even to be considered
Wow.
to have. So when you're starting out, I come to you and say, I really want to open one of these things, and you're getting me going. Is there is Herbalife looking for something that you have to have, this kind of liquidity? You have to show me that you have to show them you get the money to get a place, and you don't start making money start on. You have to have some kind of working capital to kind of keep yourself sustained. Are they looking at your finances to make sure that you can open and sustain yourself before you can start making a profit?
No, not at all.
So as long as you can get it going yourself, and do it, so this is a great way if someone wants to branch out on their own, because you've got a wonderful product.
Yeah.
It really is a awesome product. Everyone is super nice. I think that the community of these nutrition clubs
Yeah.
are very energetic, and they're very helpful to each other. And then as long as you have enough money that you've raised on your own to sustain yourself, without getting into too many numbers, I mean, how long did it take you to start turning a profit?
We were actually profitable in the first 6 months.
Wow.
See, that beats the average by almost 50%. Usually it's 18 months before you start turning a profit in a small business.
Now, granted, I didn't, I didn't have to take out a business loan or anything like that to get this started, So, I mean, that's every circumstance is going to be different.
Right.
Yeah.
If somebody would have had to go take out a loan or something, then obviously that, you got to do all that.
But this is a great. I don't want to use the word turnkey, but
It is very close to,
it's close to it.
yeah.
It's very encouraging, and I know a lot of people want to see more of these around.
Yeah.
Exit 29 is a good spot. Camden,
There's actually one in Camden now.
there is one in Camden.
Yeah, St. Mary's.
I know there's one on Waycross out there, which is wonderful.
You've got Sterling Nutrition in Sterling.
That's right.
Now, I got a question about that. Like, are you guys almost so barber shops, right? So if like some barber shops, they have like this rule where you can only be like within a certain distance, like
Oh, yeah.
you know what I
No.
mean? Like, did you guys have to be in a certain distance from each other?
No, and sometimes that's a good and a bad thing.
Yeah.
That they don't have a requirement that you have to be a certain distance from another nutrition club. So in some instances, it's a good thing. Some instances, it's a
Yeah.
bad thing. Like I couldn't prevent anybody from coming in and opening one up across the street.
Right.
But in a small town like this, why would you do that?
Right, right.
This one's been here 2 years now, established and all
Yeah.
that. It doesn't even make sense to come in and open one right there.
Right. Yeah.
So in bigger cities, I know, for instance, like Mississippi, they're huge. Like Mississippi must be the mecca for nutrition clubs because there's one practically on every corner.
Wow.
So it's crazy. And then not even South Florida, but Florida in general is now starting to get really, really big into them.
Yeah. And I've noticed that, is this something recent with these nutrition clubs? Because I've
Here it is.
Yeah, because it's been within the last 4 years, 5 years that.
Yeah. So
Maybe 6.
Herbalife is actually global.
Yeah.
Over 150,000 of these nutrition clubs in 92 countries. The up north, Midwest, West, they've been huge, but just within the last 3 to 4 years has the South and the Southeast started getting into it. So now they're, like you said, they're starting to pop up everywhere. So Yeah, just within the last several years has the South and the Southeast started getting into it. But they've been, all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, because recently I've just seen them down here just
Yeah.
popping up,
Yeah.
so which is good to see.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great alternative to Starbucks, in my opinion. I think Starbucks should get nervous. Because I mean, there was a time where I was getting my Starbucks before I get on the road.
Yeah.
And once I discovered the Galaxy,
Yeah.
it's like I don't need Starbucks anymore.
Yeah.
You got that.
And so it's a great alternative,
Yeah.
especially if you want to kind of get off the coffee train a little bit, which I have.
Yeah. And that was a big thing over here, specifically here for us, was we had so many of the law enforcement, the officers that were coming in when we opened, they would come in and get their loaded tea, and they're just like, man, I'm just so glad. I was drinking 3, 4, 5 Red Bulls a day.
Yeah.
And now they come in and just get a loaded tea, and it does the same thing
Right.
for them that Red Bull was, but this is healthy.
Yeah.
And it's good for you. And it's
Yeah.
natural, clean, plant-based energy.
Yeah, thank you.
And a little bit of caffeine, but nowhere near what those.
Red Bulls. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever read the back of a Red Bull can?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or any of those cans? It's
I was reading something about one of these energy drinks actually has almost a lethal dose of cyanide in
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
wow.
I think the Cialis.
No.
Celsius.
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 What's on your mind? What's
Celsius had this thing where it's just like it's a double the amount that should be
Yeah.
Yeah.
being consumed. I'm like,
I think they had a drink called Cialis, so it'd probably be flying off the ship.
no
Yeah.
kidding. Especially on St. Simon's.
I'd probably drink one.
Yeah, it's
Go back to Herbalife and say, hey, you got an idea for it?
Y'all have a.
yeah.
And it's funny you say that because Herbalife does have a blue pill.
Yeah. Hey, you can have a blue drink.
Again, not only do we sell just teas and shakes, like we sell all kinds of other products that are good for you. We actually have some of them out there. Like our immunity essentials. That it's a immunity boost, and then Best Defense, which has 10,000 micrograms of vitamin C.
Wow.
Fat release. The donut hole shot, which is a
Yeah.
appetite suppressant.
Yeah, talk about the donut hole, because I've seen that. And that, what is that? It's a little shot, isn't
It's
it?
a little shot that you take. So the product, it mimics the satiety effect. So
Okay.
When you did go to a buffet and you just stuffed yourself, and that feeling that you get, like, oh, I'm so full. That's the satiety. That's the signal that your stomach sends to your brain when you really are full. Well, that mimics that. So you take that donut hole shot, that we mix up, and you just take it like a shot. So it's going to give you the feeling that you're full, so you don't want to eat.
Wow.
And it works. I'm telling you, when we first opened, I used to take it, and I'd come in here at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I would take one, and then the next thing I know, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, God, I haven't had anything to eat yet.
Yeah.
So it really does work,
Wow.
But other products, like I used to always have trouble going to sleep at night. I'm not, like my wife, as soon as her head hits the pillow, she's out. And I mean, literally, drives me crazy. I lay there for an hour, just
Yeah.
mind's
Yeah.
running.
Everything going.
We have another product called Sleep Now, and when I ordered some and I tried it, and I'm like, God, like I won't run out of it at all. Like I take 2 of them every night before I go to bed, about 30 minutes before I'm ready to go to bed, and then I'm out.
Wow.
So Aminogen, there's so many other products that Herbalife carries other than just these teas and these shakes. Lotion, hand lotions, shampoos, conditioners for the women. They have a whole skin line.
Wow. And I know you mentioned you said you're also a distributor, right? Is that part of it?
Well, when you sign up, you
Yeah.
know, there's several different things that that you can do. You can become a distributor, which will allow you to purchase the product and then resell it.
Okay, yeah.
You can sign up and become a preferred member, which would allow you to order the product, have it at your home, and make it for yourself.
Okay.
So,
So what
Two
you're,
different-
so what level are you? You're considered a distributor? or-
Distributor,
Okay.
yeah, to be able to
To sell it.
resell.
Resell
yes.
it. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Now, do you have a lot of people that work out that come in to?
We don't have a big, I guess, workout clientele.
Yeah.
We've got several that, because Macintosh doesn't have well, they do. They've got the Y
Right.
over there, but no big gyms like Planet Fitness or nothing like that over here. So, but we do have several, that come in and get their shakes for post workout.
Okay.
Because of the protein.
Right. I was gonna
Got-
say because that the protein like
Right,
helps
right,
with that workout.
Got several of them that'll come in and get a double, shake. So they're getting like almost 50 grams of protein
Wow.
in a double. Yeah.
It's like eating like
Steak.
yeah.
It's like a porterhouse right there.
Yeah, like
Seriously.
eating like 10 chickens.
Yeah. Like going to Bentley's and getting that
Yeah.
thing hanging off both edges of the tray.
But
Cheaper than Ruth Chris.
that's now the products, are they all plant based?
Not all of them.
Okay.
Some of them are.
Okay.
Yeah. We actually do have a greens line too.
Okay.
So people that want to get their greens, and,
Right, right.
they're actually working on a full vegan line right now as well.
Because I was going to ask if you have someone that's vegan and they come in, like what
Yep. They're working on a whole line for that right now.
Okay, yeah, because I know that's a big thing for some people. Like I have a friend that's vegan, and
Yeah.
that's his whole diet
Right.
is vegan.
And we did when right after our island store opened. There's a lot of people over there that are vegan, and that was several of the instances where I was talking about, letting the customer read the label.
Yeah.
They would come in and say, "Well, does your product have this in it?" And I'm like, "I'm not sure. Let me look here. Here's the canister, and they can read it for themselves." And they say, "Well, okay, yeah, that's good. I can do that." Or, "No, it's got this in it, so I can't do that."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, having the ability to be able to let the customer read the container, read the ingredients, and decide for themselves, I think that's a great thing, because there's a lot of companies out there that have products that hide what's in their product.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So
I mean, I remember going a couple places because I need to look at the nutrition labels for, for my health and for my daughter's health
Right.
reasons. And like some places, I'll be like, "Oh, can I see your nutrition label?" And they're like, "Oh, we don't have that here. Like,
Yeah.
you got to go online." And then you go online, and it's like you got to scroll until you find like the little thing that says like nutrition, and you
Yeah.
click on it,
Yeah.
and like so. Yeah, having that available, to me, it's important.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I want to know, like I mentioned before, how many carbs or whatever,
Right.
you have that available.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, it's the products are great, and when you've got the customers coming in and they're buying, and you really don't have to do a whole lot of advertising other than the social media, because is that
Word
your-
of mouth spreads
Yeah,
fast.
the word of mouth. The clientele is kind of on the younger side, where not network, but social media
Yeah.
is kind of their mainstay.
Yeah.
And Port City Nutrition was the first one,
Right.
and the only reason why I knew about it was they kept them blasting
Yeah.
stuff on
Facebook.
on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
And I had just started getting on Instagram with the cheesecake stuff. And so I didn't have a whole lot of followers, but I'd always see these posts, because since we were in the same geographical location.
Right.
So I got to start following these people. And I was intrigued, because it's like, what are we doing here? Why nutrition and shakes? And,
Yeah.
and so what really drew me into going the first time was, I need to know what this was about.
Right, and that's the same thing that's what my wife said. So her and I both actually seen, like you said, when they first came here, they just blasted social media. So that's kind of the thing when you're going to open one of these, a week or two before, when you're going to open, you just blast social media,
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, all that, with the pictures of all these drinks and these shakes, and they look pretty, and it gets people intrigued. What is this? What is this? When are you
Yeah.
opening? And so that was the same thing. I was like, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and all I see is pictures of these drinks.
Yep.
So I'm like, scroll,
Yeah.
scroll. And it got her to go in, which in turn got me
Got
to
you
go
going,
in,
yeah.
which in turn got us to open this business.
Yeah.
So I'm proof that the social media thing, advertising works.
Works. Yeah.
So here I am.
Yeah, and there's one thing we haven't talked about yet that I really love about this place and Port City, and is that you get little inspirational things written on the side of your cups.
Yeah. So my wife, she started that, and she doesn't let a cup go out of the store without something written on it.
It's a personal touch.
Yeah.
And people really do appreciate
They
that.
do. I'll tell you what, we get some people, if you see all those, but
Yep.
like that, she's got them stacked up there. Those are ones that she hasn't written on yet, So she'll be like, all right, I got to go write on cups. And she literally will sit there and she will write these things on every one of them cups.
Wow.
And sometimes, one may get missed that just gets popped on there that didn't get it. So one day, one of the sheriff's deputies actually came in. I grabbed the cup. I didn't notice anything. I made his tea and give it to him, and he went to go walk out. And he turned around. And he's like, "Hold up!" I said, "What?" I said, "Does it not taste right?" He goes, "There's nothing written on my cup." And I was like, "Oh, she missed one," And so like they do notice. And,
Yeah, it is. That was one of the things that stood out to me as a new customer, was that there's always something nice or inspirational.
positive.
It's very positive, which is in the morning. That's a great thing
Yeah.
to see and read.
Yeah.
For me, it tells me that there's a much more than just a financial investment into your business. You're really
Yeah.
putting your heart and soul
Right.
into this.
That personal touch.
Right.
It's a very personal touch,
Yeah.
and it's something that I think it sounds like it's like it's a subtle, but it's actually kind of a major thing.
Oh, it is really, because so when we went to that banquet and when we won the Business of the Year award, so many people came up to us, not only to congratulate us, but to say, "Hey, I love the little quotes and the sayings that you guys write on the cups."
Wow.
So many people. So it touches a lot of people. And she is, like I said, she's very adamant about, a cup's not going to leave the store without something written on it.
And I've done that. At Port City, there's a couple times you're like, hey,
Where's my man?
Yeah.
what?
We're-
Thing is, Adam's usually in the morning, so that's the last thing he's going to do is be.
Yeah.
Even though he's got a lot of energy, he's not going to write a lot of stuff down.
Right.
I know it's Katie and some of the other
Yeah.
young ladies that work.
And
there.
I don't either. Like, you don't want me writing on them cups.
Yeah.
The customers are gonna be like, So, but again, that goes back to her. Like you said, you're a numbers guy. I'm a numbers guy. I'm the business side of it. She really is the one that has created I don't know, whatever you want to call it. The relationships with all these customers, and like I said, not that I haven't. I do. I'm not just rude, but again, she's the heartbeat. She's the one that makes it run and like I said, creates all the relationships with these customers and keeps it all going.
And we've seen that today. I mean, I lost count of how many customers you've had come in the door.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah, that is great. So as kind of wrapping up here, we're in Darien. So where do you see Darien going?
Darien is actually growing. Obviously you guys know the Buc-ee's is coming.
Yeah.
That's going to generate a lot of not only jobs but traffic.
Yeah.
Coming through here. Like I said previously, Darien is still, right now, it's still very much small town USA. I mean, there's not even a red light in Darien.
Never noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So with the new hotel that just
Yeah.
got built, and the Buc-ee's and all that, that's coming in, and the downtown area that they call downtown is a lot of remodeling getting done, and new businesses coming in. So it's growing. The McIntosh County Chamber is doing a really great job of trying to build it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Darien's a pretty town.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little town.
Yeah, it's and we've had brunch at that new hotel.
Yeah.
And that's
good.
a nice hotel.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I was a little skeptical when it, I was like, man, that's like St. Simon stuff. How's that going to go over here in Darien? But it's done well.
Yeah.
I still have to check out that brunch.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good brunch. Yeah. Yeah, Darien's a pretty town.
Yeah.
It's a very pretty town.
We do like coming up here, go to Skipper's,
Yeah.
but there's a nice wine shop.
Yep. The winery. Yeah.
That's kind of my
Yeah.
my thing.
So anybody listening that you're headed up this way, or you're on the interstate and need to make a detour, make sure you stop in. And so, where are you located? What's the address?
It's 802 Northway, Unit 2, Darien, Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're heading 17 north, it'll be on your right, and just pull on in and say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Order a Galaxy.
Yeah. Check out the many nutritional drinks that's on the menu.
Yeah. It's not like we have a lack of options.
No, I was like,
there's a flavor for
lot.
everyone
Yeah,
here.
there is. I'm actually amazed at how many flavors there are.
There's a bunch.
Yeah, there are. So there's something for everybody. So if you like one thing, it's on the menu. I mean, you got wild berry for the shakes, the specialty tea. So you got the Emerald Isles, the blue, and the pina colada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now is it Rip or
Yeah.
okay with
But
the
that was
passion?
Rip for, have you seen Yellowstone?
No, I have to.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I'm probably one of the
That's
few
good.
people that haven't seen it because
Oh,
I need
man.
to check it.
Yeah. So Rip was actually a character on Yellowstone. So
That's right.
yeah. So there was actually a whole set of Yellowstone teas. They had the Yellowstone, the Monica, the Rip,
Oh my gosh.
and a couple other ones, And so that's another thing too, holidays. We have, when Christmas rolls around, we'll bring out a whole line of holiday teas and shakes for Christmas.
Yeah.
We have Easter teas and shakes. We have St. Patrick's Day teas and shakes. Halloween teas and shakes, Thanksgiving teas and shakes, for each holiday
Yeah.
that we bring out. And then, once it's over, they go out and then, come back. And so there's so many different, options.
Yeah, so you can drink nutritious and enjoy the flavor.
Especially if you're adventurous in your flavors,
Yeah.
because there's a whole lot of stuff you can get here, especially when the holidays come around.
Yep.
You get different flavors. Those are the limited time offers that come out, and then you can come back to your regulars. I mean, you got Fruity Pebbles as a flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So there's literally something for everyone, and that's what makes it nice, because it makes it inviting. You've got great people by the counter that makes it inviting, but the
Yes.
menus make it inviting.
Yeah.
Actually, the color scheme in here
I
is
love
very
it here.
inviting.
I
Yeah,
Yeah,
mean,
we
come
went
in
with
here, you feel like you're staying on a beach.
Yeah, that coastal vibe.
it's
the
very coastal vibe in here.
nautical theme.
Yeah, I love that theme.
That was her too.
Yeah.
She did all that stuff.
Yeah,
That's not my forte.
No,
yeah,
it's
especially since
fantastic.
we're on
On the water.
the water, the
Yeah.
Georgia coast, the Golden Isles. Yeah.
Yep.
So definitely, anyone listening, hopefully a lot of people are listening.
Yeah.
Come on up here and check it out. ABC Nutrition in Darien. So, but yeah, no, thank you so much. Really
Yeah.
appreciate you,
No, thank you.
being on here. And like I said, our whole thing with this podcast is to showcase small businesses, people. Then I really appreciate you being on here.
No, thank you. I appreciate what y'all are doing. I mean, it helps people like us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is the Beard signing off.
And this is Buddha.
And Brad.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Nice
it.
stuff, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.